Hello everyone. So that is the second part of your history chapter, how, when and where. In first part I have already told you which dates are important, how it is important, why it is important, what is periodization, what is the James Mill theory and what we follow. These all things I have already told you. Now it is the second part. Let's see what is inside there. So here we will be knowing about the sources of studying modern history. So whatever the history we are reading, there must be some source of it. How we got to know about it, what is we are reading and knowing. So there are sources of that, from that we got to know about the history. So there are two types of sources. One is literary source and others is archaeological sources. In literary source, what comes like a biography, autobiography, newspaper, letters, poems, documents, reports, official documents. These all come in literary sources, means it's a written form, whatever it is, that is the literary source. Okay, and the other is archaeological source, means whatever the memorials, utensils, monuments, weapon, painting, we got it from the departments. That is called the archaeological source. Means how it happens, means you have heard about the Harappa civilization. So how we got to know there was one Harappa and what happened there and how old it is. So there is one department, archaeological department. What they do the survey. Then they decide on which place they want to excavate the place, and when they excavate the place, they will, if they will get something like when they found that Harappa, so they found some old buildings there by excavating the place. Then they got some coins there. Then they do the research on that. Then they got to know कि okay, there one civilization was there that time and how they used to live. Like that they discovered this thing. So that is called the archaeological sources. If you have ever been in museum, so you have seen in that many years back that very old things there. So that is the sources from where we got our history. About our history we got to know about it. So that is called that two type of sources are there from which we got to know about the history. Now official records. When Britishers were there, they were very particular about the records. They used to do surveys, they used to write the records, so that if in the future if they want to refer something, so they could just refer the old records whatever we are having. So they were very particular about taking the reports. So but what official records do not tell. Official records will tell you okay, what happened when day, on which year, on which date, what has happened, that we know. But what the people of that time felt about it, that you cannot know about that but just by reading the record. So that is the one thing we do not know about the feelings of the people. And the second one is only diaries of people, travelers, autobiography of important personality can tell about literate people. If somebody has written the novel, so they will write the novel on that famous person, or they will write about their thoughts, whatever they think about the situation or that thing that time. So that their perceptions, you don't know about the others, you will never know about the common men by that. So that is only about the literate people you can get to know, but not about all the people. Then no record of the history is available for the tribals, peasant, workers of the poor, means nobody write about them, isn't it? If there will be novel in general, maybe they will write something, but if you will go to find records, so maybe it is most probably you will not get any report or any record of them. So that is the problem with that official record, that you can get the information but not fully. Okay. Now what is the conclusion of that? There are many sources of information which help us study our past, but whatever was written could also has been biased and subjective assessment of a particular person or a matter of individual interpretation. I will give you an example. If you are having one friend named Atul, your name is Raj. Okay, so Raj and Atul are friends. Atul is the editor of a big newspaper and Raj is his friend who is a politician. Okay, so whatever Raj is doing right now, whatever he is doing, Atul is writing good about his acts in his newspaper because they are very good friends, and maybe he is getting that Atul is getting money from him as well. So he is just being biased and he is writing whatever he is doing, whatever the acts he is doing, he is just molding it, manipulating it and writing in his own words. So right now, whoever right now is here in 2020, whoever we are here, we know what is exactly happened because we are living that era. But after 100 years, if somebody will take that newspaper from the archives, archives are the place where we put the official records. So if we will take, anybody will take after 100 years that newspaper, so they will just read whatever Atul has written about the Raj. They don't know what Raj, how Raj actually was, what he used to do, but they will just read it whatever Atul has written there. So that is why the literary sources can be biased. It can be biased. So whenever we are approaching literary sources, we should always recheck it. We should always double check it whether it is if we are seeing that one newspaper, so we should see 2-3 more newspapers, or we should Google. Even if the Wikipedia we will go, so all the information written on Wikipedia is not true, because somebody has written that, and you can edit the information as well. So you never know whether it is real or not. So just blindly we should never think, okay, whatever it is written that is right. We should always try to search more about it. So that is the problem with that. So it can be biased, and we have to be careful about it. So that's what it for your that first chapter of history. So what we have talked about in 2 parts, that is, first one, why the dates are important, which type of dates are important, how we have done periodization of that history, and what was the James Mill theory. Then what are the sources from which type of sources we can get the information about the history, and what that official records do not tell us, and how and why we should be careful about the records whatever we are getting. So I hope you understood it, and if you are having any problem, in the live classes we will discuss more about it, and please read the chapters to understand it better. There are some words, glossary words I want to tell you, and one more thing is there, that is census. What is census? Census meaning in Hindi, if I will tell, that is the Janganna. So that keeping record of the population, recording various facts, that's are called the census. And history of census, we will see here, India has a rich tradition and enjoy the reputation of being one of the best in the world. That every 10 years that census happen, government do that. So some of the people might have come at your place as well to take to count how many members are there in your family. So because they have to take records so that they should know how much population is there, what is the population of Indore, then how much resources we needed. For that they have to see the population and everything. So that is the census is called the keeping record of the population and record of various things. Okay, so now the glossary words. Chronological means events or dates arranged in the order when it happened, like that. If we are making the record, that is called chronological order. Then archives means a collection of old public documents and records. You can go to the archives and take the old records. Then indigenous, native to the country. Demography, the study of population and statistics. So please do read about it more to understand better. Thank you so much.